You're listening to Chat with the Experts, brought to you by Angie's List on 93 WIBC.
Welcome to Chat with the Experts, brought to you by Angie's List. My name is Kyle Haag, and I'll be your host today. Here on Chat with the Experts, we're all about providing our listeners with the very best tips and advice for all kinds of home, health, and lifestyle topics. And every week we bring in knowledgeable service providers and subject matter experts to give us the tips that we need to get the job done right. If you missed us last week, we rolled out a really great conversation on interior painting with the help of Dan Cavanero of Golden Boys Painting in Rochester, New York. And it was a really great show. If you're thinking about putting the brush to the wall anytime soon, you're going to want to listen in. You can hear that episode by subscribing to our podcast on iTunes. Just pull up iTunes on your home computer, the podcast app on your smartphone, search Chat with the Experts, hit the subscribe button. You'll stay up to date on every single episode that we release. And of course, you can leave us a review and let us know how we're doing. If you want to watch these conversations, go to youtube.com, search for Angie's List. On our Angie's List channel on YouTube, you can watch all of the video segments of this show and comment and leave your thoughts about our discussions. And, of course, you can find our podcast and a whole lot more at angieslist.com. If you're looking to hire a professional painter, or maybe you're in the market for an interior designer to help you spruce up your space, you can find them all on angieslist.com. You're going to get reviews of companies in your area. An annual membership is under $10 for the full year. It's $9.99. And if you hit join now and use promo code WIBC40, you're going to get 40% off an annual membership. It's definitely worth it. Check it out today. Go to angieslist.com. Well, today we are climbing to new heights as we scale the home and take a look at your roof. And whether you're in the process of maintaining your existing roof by cleaning or making some small repairs, or even if you're ready to remove your existing roofing material and start over from scratch, we've got some really great information for you today. There's a lot of options out there when it comes to installing new roofing material. And we're going to get some answers on today's show. Joining us for the discussion is Judd Haag of Bone Dry Roofing right here in Indianapolis. Judd joined us last year, actually, to talk about your home's exterior, and he's back today to focus on the roof. Bone Dry Roofing is a family-owned and operated contractor in the Midwest, and they've grown to be one of the largest contractors in the Midwest. They handle residential roofing repairs and replacement, roof cleaning, insulation, chimney solutions, gutters, and a whole lot more. And Judd is an all-around pro. We're happy to have him back with us today. Judd, welcome to Chat with the Experts.
Thank you, Kyle. Glad to be back.
Like I mentioned, we had you on last year to talk about some different areas of the home, like siding, and you provide a lot of different services with Bone Dry. Was roofing something that you focused on early on as one of your premier services?
Absolutely, yeah. So roofing was what we started from the very get-go. Gene Judd, the owner, started a little over 26 years ago in the industry. He's a roofer by trade. His family was, grew up roofing out of Rockford, Illinois, and so he started doing the roofing here in Indianapolis. An IU grad, moved up to Zionsville, Indiana, and started Bone Dry. And just through doing the roofing and running into a lot of our customers that needed additional work, we kind of expanded into those other trades, such as the gutters and siding and windows and paint and all the stuff that goes on the outside of the house.
Yeah. So if you were to gear up and do one of these jobs, is getting on the roof and doing that work your favorite of all of them? Or
that's our bread and butter. That's what we like the best. It's what we have the most experience in, and we really feel like we knock every single job out of the park.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking a lot about different aspects of roofing today, but I want to start by asking, what time of year you generally see folks start to think about the roof and the changes they may want to make.
It's typically the springtime. I mean, you go through wintertime, everybody's, inside bundled up, not a lot of activity, and then come spring, stuff starts thawing. You get a lot of rains in, March and April. And that's when the leaks start to show up. And so you got customers that, may know that they have a problem. They've just been putting it off. But now with the rains, it's, hey, I really got to address this problem. Yeah. And people that might not know that they've got something going on, all of a sudden we get a big heavy rain and it's just, wow, I've got a leak. It's kind of an emergency. I need to get this thing fixed.
Yeah, and a lot of, sometimes there's obvious signs that it's time to make a change or replace the roof. Other times, you may not see what's actually going on, which is why having a regular roof inspection is so important. I wanted to ask you what actually takes place during the roof inspection. What are you looking for when you climb up there and take a look?
So when we do a roof inspection, I mean, we're really just looking at the overall condition of the roof. So we start with, the shingles. That's what everybody sees. Are there any missing? That's, we just had some really big winds come through Indy here in the last couple of weeks, and we've been really busy running out and replacing shingles. And so are there any missing? Are there, any soft wood as you walk on the roof? Do you feel any spots where you feel like the roof is just real soft? That could be an indication of some rotten or wet wood underneath the shingles. Some of the other areas that are really kind of prone to leaks are anywhere there's caulking, by a chimney, any penetrations that come through the roof where you have a plumbing pipe or a heat vent that comes through the roof. And typically you have some caulking in those areas. And so you just want to get an overall condition of the roof, see, how old it is, how the shingles are aging, and how that caulking is aging.
Yeah. So where does it cross over from we just need to make a few repairs to the existing roof to we need to replace the roof, maybe put new material up there, take the existing shingles off? How do you tell when you're doing the inspection? That's
a big point of the inspection is to see, is it a newer roof? The shingles are aging properly and they've still got a long life expectancy to them, or has the roof kind of run its course? Is it typically, we would say, around that 20 to 25-year-old roof? You might have a few shingles that blow off, but all the rest of the shingles around them are just really old. The granules are coming off. The fiberglass mat is exposed. And you can, spend a few $100s to replace some shingles that have blown off, but are you just going to end up doing it again next month when another windstorm comes through? So it really just becomes an option to the homeowner that, hey, do you want to keep doing these little, tic-tac repairs, or do you want to go ahead and make the investment in a whole new roof and know that you're taken care of for the long run?
Yeah, no question. So let's, I guess, focus in on you've decided that you're going to do the full roof replacement. If you're going to have your roof replaced, do the existing shingles need to be removed before you start new ones?
So in the state of Indiana, there's a state code that says if you've only got one layer of shingles, you can put a second layer on top. If you've already got two, you can't go any more than two, so you would have to tear them all off. Now, with that being said, that's the state code. We absolutely believe that on every single roof, it is in the best interest of everyone involved to tear off the existing roof and go back with all brand new material, just because it gives you an idea of what's going on underneath those shingles. You can find out if they've had existing leaks, if you've got some bad wood, whether it's moldy or rotten. You just get a good idea of what's going on with that roof. You're going back with all new materials, so you have all new flashings, all new, roof penetrations, and you really know that that roof is built the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And you get a long life out of it.
Yeah, and not to mention that the existing shingles, if you put new ones on top, those old ones are going to continue to deteriorate, which is going to cause a lot of problems in the long run as well. Now, after the shingles are actually taken off the roof, what takes place when you're inspecting the actual decking on the roof? What are you looking for?
So there's multiple types of decking. There's old 1x6, boards. There is plywood, and then there's OSB, which is kind of the newer standard that we see. And so what we're looking for is just any signs of water penetration, where around a chimney or any plumbing vent, water may have been getting in over time, and that wood has just become rotten.
Sure.
And a nail's not going to hold into it. So if we try and install a shingle there, it's not going to hold down. So plywood can also, just due to moisture in the air, it can start to delaminate. And so you get some waviness in the plywood. It chips as you start peeling it off. Same thing with the OSB. It'll just kind of chip and flake when you peel it off.
Okay.
And so then you can have some ripples, and that will telegraph through the shingles when you put the new ones on. So you don't necessarily want to reuse that old wood because it's not going to look good and it's not going to last as long as it should.
Yeah, really quickly, how often should someone expect that their decking is going to need to be replaced? Because it's not necessarily going to be every time that you put new shingles on.
No, if the roof is properly installed and properly ventilated, you could expect to get a lifetime out of it. You shouldn't have to replace it. If you do have to replace your roof again, your wood should be in good shape.
Yeah. All right, well, it is time for us to take our first break here today on Chat with the Experts, but we're just getting started. When we come back, we're going to talk about how to care for your new roof once it's installed and how you can avoid voiding your roof warranty. We've got Judd Haag with us in the studio today, and we're discussing every single thing you need to know about your roof. Keep it right here. You're listening to Chat with the Experts, brought to you by Angie's List.
Introducing the all-new Angie's List app, your on-the-go resource for great local service. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can access ratings and reviews, shop offers, and request scheduling assistance from the palm of your hand. Submit and stay up to date on your projects. Redesigned and easy to use, the new Angie's List app makes getting more from your membership simple and convenient. Anytime, anywhere. Download the free Angie's List app on iTunes today.